Bruce here from RPM Auto Reviews, and I got today for you a 2020 Equinox Premier 2-liter turbo all-wheel drive. Well, let's just get a little look around at this. It's basically the same. So it's a 2019, 2020. All the specs are basically the same, only a couple of little things. So we'll get to that later. Go look around. I personally think that it's not a bad looking car. It's not super cool, but it's got some nice sleek curves and stuff to it. So I think it's an okay car. And this is one of the reasons I've chosen to test drive this one. This is my third time getting one. I've narrowed my list down to a few cars, and this is on the list, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. It's got a good sleek design. It's got fog lights, LED lighting. This one, it looks like halogen. I think the top are LED, but I'm going to double check that. They should be, most are now. I would hope so. It's got a turning signal there, so it's easy to see. It does have the proximity sensor thing for locking the car. It's a little smaller size-wise. It's smaller than a Santa Fe, than a Sportage, but it's bigger than like the Tucson or the Hyundai. I believe it's also a little bit bigger than like the Sportage by a little bit. Well, not bad shapes. The trunk doesn't curve in too much of an angle, so helps with the cargo space. CUV. It's got two pipes come out the back. That's cool. Now there's a few ways of opening the tailgate on this one. One is with the button underneath that you can press like most. There should be one on the key fob as well. There we go. It does have that, and then you can also use your foot to close it after. And it has a button here. You can press this to close it. I believe the cargo space on this one's around 29 cubic feet, so that's not huge, but it's not too bad. And what I do like is that they have this hidden space here, which comes up a lot. So, and there is a spare tire underneath there. So now this is flat, so you can put things right in without having to, get it out, up and out of there. You have the things here for folding down the seats, so that's cool. Some of them have the cargo cover that will catch in here, and it's got the little notches, little hooky things for adding a net. I back up, the lights flashed and it's closing now. So there you go. So 1, 2. So it's only got 2 spots, and this one does not. This actually model was one of the first cars many years ago to have the sliding forward, the Equinox, but it doesn't have the sliding forward on this one now. The seat at the front right now should be set where I was sitting, and being 5.6, 5 feet 6 inches. It's got a lot of leg room. Headroom. I told you guys before I do my finger test, 4 and 5, to see how many I can get over top, and I'm getting the 4 without touching, and the 5 won't. If I was able to hold it rock solid, I cannot get the 5 through without bending a little bit. But for most size people, it's still okay. Good size. In the center, we got 2 cup holders and an armrest. We got the vents, the heated seats here. So the rear seats are heated. That's cool. And it's got heated. The backrest is heated as well. So if it's really cold, your back will be heated as well for the rear passengers. That's great. And you got the 2 USB there. So. This model is a premium model. It's so it's got all the leather and everything. It's got a little stitching there. It's kind of nice. We got a little bit of a softer rubberized, but it's kind of the hard, the plasticky, but the one that has an ever so slight rubbery to it. Here we got soft touch. I don't think this is leather though. It doesn't feel quite like the seat, so it might be a leather, it might just be a vinyl on this one. And it's a little harder down here. Some other cars have a little bit more soft touch in this section and only get harder on the bottom part. So that's not as nice as some other cars. And the bottled cargo compartment here is a bit smaller than some other cars. There's something there, so that's not bad, but it's a little smaller than some cars will have. Check that as well, because of this, you can easily slide back here. So this one's already 2 or 3 inches further back than mine, and again, some good size room there too. Of what it is, it's got a nice panoramic roof. Okay, so this one does have this one has 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's got 8 adjustments. It does not have up and down for the lumbar, but it has the lumbar supports. Of course, the back, front and back, and the tilt this way, and back and forth. So the usual stuff for there. On the door, we have an adjustment here where you can set how high the lift gate goes. Either goes all the way or 3/4 if you don't want to wait for it to go all the way up and you're not that tall. You can set it for that. You got memory seats here, which comes in the premium model. Does not come as an option, and as most cars don't. Lower model. It has 2 settings, plus it has one for the when the door opens. So if you set it, you can set it for when the door opens. The seat has a different position, most likely be further back than where you sit, so then it's more easy for getting in and out. So you can adjust that setting as well. And the good thing about this one, unlike my wife's Subaru Legacy, the mirror also adjusts with your position of the seating, so that's a bonus. That's nice to see that. Okay, so let's have a quick look inside. Okay, we got again leather seating being the premium model. We got soft touch, rubbery soft touch here, soft touch there, all here. Again, this is the harder one. Harder back here. We got the rubberized softer material here, soft here, stitching, perforated leather. Again, that kind of hard, but with a slight rubbery soft feel to it. Back to regular hard there. Decent size box. Again, not a very large, but room for a bottle. It's got 2 cup holders, very deep, good size. A little cubby here for something. This little thing here for change, pens, whatever, and they're very deep thing. You can get a good sized bottle of water in there too, and lots of stuff, so that's pretty good deep, lots of room. So even got something here to clip something onto that if you wanted to. Okay, well, let's start this up. Here we go, it's got the electric brake here. Gear shifter. This does have an L for manual mode, and it has the gear shifting up and down here. Does not have paddle shifters. Something to note about this car does have the feature where the engine shuts off when you come to a stop at a stop sign or red light. And unlike many manufacturers, in this model, they have not put a turn off switch for that yet. So that's one of the things I'm debating is like a negative, and I might not buy this car as I weigh my options for other pros and cons with other vehicles. That's one of the negatives. When the car is in L mode, I'm stopping, it does not turn off. It bypasses the L mode. You can set it in L and then click all the way up to L9, and it'll just accelerate just as if it was in D. It'll switch all the gears on its own as it goes up, and it'll also rev down to a nice steady cruising RPM if you're just not accelerating anymore, just as if you're in drive. So if you can see in the rec shows on the bottom right of the little digital screen L9, just scroll to L9 and leave it in L mode. You can actually drive around the car, it'll accelerate, it'll change gears for you just as if it was in drive. So I don't know why it allows you to do that, but you can actually set it, and it'll go up and down on its own while you're driving, just as if it's an auto, and the engine does not turn off when you come to a stop when it's in the L mode. Somehow it bypasses it. So, and I was checking the revs accelerating, and whether I'm accelerating just very gradual acceleration like I normally would whether it's an auto or whether it's an L, the RPMs are going to the same spot. So I don't think technically I'm burning any more gas driving that way. So if you kind of like this car and the auto shut off engine thing is upsetting to you, which it is to me, that actually works. Okay. Now this is an all-wheel drive. Unlike most cars where the all-wheel drive is on demand, this one has a button for you to actually engage it only when you want, which is supposed to help in fuel economy, and it actually does. So I kind of like that, and I don't. And it has a button here for a trailer, so I'm presuming that adjusts your gear ratio and all that kind of stuff for hauling a trailer a little more comfortably. It does have that automatic charging thing here. It has a Type C USB, a regular USB, and an auxiliary, and there's an SD card there for the mapping. I probably can take that out and put more music there if you wanted to, and a regular 12 volt. Good little space there too. Now, one of the things I like a lot about this car is the Infotainment system. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right, probably not. So, but I actually like this because it's got pretty much a lot of features, and I know all the cars these days have these techie options. You can adjust so many features, but this one really has a lot. I really like it. I don't have time to go through all this, but it's got so many things. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can adjust your lighting. You can adjust for memory situations of teen. If you have a teen driver, you can have something from the dealership that adjusts up and probably regulates them, or maybe records if they're driving like crazy kids or something. But there's just so many features here. I don't have time to go through them all. So many settings. I've been playing with it more, and I'm finding that, like, I've already told you, it's very intuitive and very easy to get to. And as I'm playing with it, it really is very, very good. It's maybe one of the better ones out there, period. I mean, everything's very easy to find, quick response. For the navigation, it's a lot faster. Boom. Food, all food, boom, goes right to the map. And you can zoom out to see restaurants in your area. This one does have the lane keep assist and all that kind of stuff. Forward braking, cross rear torque, park assist, beeping when you're parking. Now, I don't see a setting for the braking. This one, the seat vibrates. You can set a beep or the vibrate. And the seat vibrating, I think, is more likely to wake you up than a little beeping, because you may have had the radio on anyway. And in 2019, you got to pretty much go to the higher models to request that package. But in 2020s, I believe I saw another review stating that these packages, the forward braking, maybe not the blind spot monitoring, that's kind of an extra bonus still, but the more safety related ones for like the forward braking collision warning is coming on the lower model. I believe even as low as the base model. So that's good. Now you don't have to go that high in price to get some of the safety features. So here we have manual buttons for the climate control. It is dual side. This car in the premium model does have cool seats and heated seats for both sides. That's nice. The vents are not a bad spot. Here you can adjust them enough to put them on you, or to put them just to miss you and come through the middle of the room. I like it this way. My wife likes it to hit her in the face. So to each their own. The backup camera is relatively decent. It's only got the one thing going back and forth, not the two stages with the one that goes to this, and then the lines that stay standard are fixed position. It does have the surround view, which is kind of cool. On the steering wheel, we have the cruise control. Everything's on this side. Some cars have it on the other side. So accelerating and setting a cruise control is all on this side. You can have a button there to adjust turn on or off your forward collision warning. Forward collision, I can set the distance for the alert. Some cars have that for the adaptive cruise control, but they don't have it for the collision alert. I guess if you don't want it going off too soon, you can adjust that. I don't think, from my driving it doesn't seem to be too early if you have it on the more distance safe for safety. But I guess if you want to adjust that, you can. So there you go. Heated steering wheel, lane keep assist options there. On this side is all the related to the stereo. And you can, well, let me scroll down. There you go. It's got different menus. Demo mode, early demos mode. Traction and stability, so you can adjust that. You can adjust your unit of measure. Info page options, home page, speed warning options, software. I mean, pretty much all the stuff. There's so many settings here. Your fuel economy and stability control and all these things. You can adjust settings to be louder alerts or softer alerts, etc. Different tones and lights. So it's got a lot of options. As you can see, it's got two normal analog tachometer and the speedometer. Your fuel and oil gauge are right there, and down here is all the other little screen with all that information. So it's very easy to see. Now it looks like it has the heads up display there, but I couldn't get this one to turn on, but I think it has it. Like I said, it's got a nice panoramic roof, which is kind of cool. Sunglass holder here, memory for the garage openers, has the OnStar option. I find the cabin relatively comfortable. I think I like my wife's Subaru and the Hyundai Santa Fe that I test drove a little better for overall comfort, but it's not too bad. The way my leg sits against here, which is this is harder plastic here, so that's not cool. But my knee can touch there a little bit. I think maybe a little bit of a different angle might be better, but no car is actually perfect there. Note here, these do not have the option for going up and down to adjust height. I don't like that. I think that's bad on any modern car not having this. And bad on Chevy for this, and bad on you, BMW. Your X1 and your X3 also does not have the adjustable thing. Like almost every car has that now, and some of the BMWs don't even have that. Oh, the windows, the front two have express down. Even the back have express down, but they don't. Well, the back don't have express up, which is okay. Most don't, but the front does not have express up. It has to be manual all the way up, but of course the driver's side does have express up and down. Again, for the price point of this car being higher than anything else in its immediate competition in its class, I'm surprised it doesn't have express up as well. So bad on Chevy for that. Real quick, you were looking at it before. You see from the back and from the front, they're quite bolstered, quite like bucket designed seats with lots of, coming out a lot. They come out a lot. So I find that they're hugging me and they're very comfortable in that way. And I'm only 5'6", 170 pounds. So somebody who's like 200 pounds and not too big will definitely still be okay with these. But being that they kind of hug me and I'm not that big, I can only imagine that if you're really somebody like, 220, 250 pounds and up, these seats are not going to be comfortable for you. They'll be too big for you. And same with the area here. It's a smaller compact SUV. So the area in here, again, for average people, even if you're tall, would be okay. But if you're really like just a bigger person, chunky but funky, as I like to say, definitely might not be the car for you. You may have to go with just something that's bigger in size. Okay, that wraps it up for now. I'll get back to you with some more information, and whatever I missed out here, I'm going to be doing my test drive with it and talking about performance and adding what I missed on to that review, but it actually will be combined to one big review. If not, it'll be a part 2 to this one. Thanks for watching RPM Auto Reviews. Please subscribe and grow with me as I start adding more car reviews.